YouTube. I'm just here a little early, chitting and chatting, and we'll see what happens later. Got a couple more minutes. I was just checking out settings. Hey. Ugh. All right. So, what my focus is going to be today is comparing the 2022 to the 2023 Artist Almanac. And so we can get a look at them. I want to welcome everybody to my live. I hope you guys can hear me. I see I have a couple of people watching. I want to shout out to Helen and to Sherry. And thanks you guys for joining. I was on the fence about buying one because I couldn't get anybody to answer me when and I see another friend, Claret. I'm just going to do a blanket hi. And I wanted to know if they were the same. And I don't believe they are. And here's what I noticed right off the bat. In 2022, there were 12 artists. In 2023, there are 19. There are 11 people who returned and only one who did not. And that was Mary Beth Shaw. The new people, let's see if I can zoom in a little better. You guys can see the names. The new people are Ariana, Anna Barnes, Anna Karenina or Karina, Denise Lush, Lakeisha Hall, and I bought mine from her, Renee Mueller, Roxanne Paget, and Seth Apter. Those are the new people. And everybody else was returning. They decided this year to round the corners, and I'm frankly glad about that. They also gave you a hanging hold, which would be good because I had the devil of a time trying to find this one. They put a hard cover this year. Last year it was just paper. Interestingly enough, last year's is thicker than this year's. And there's only a couple of sheets missing out of here. I love Sep Apter too. Yep, and I love him too. So I'm going to do like a quick flip of the 2022 one. I mean, yeah, that's last year's, or though we're actually currently in the year. I think the paper is also different. And during my flip through, I didn't find any pages that were the same, but it was, just on a flip through. Yep. 300 and some odd pages is hard to flip through. But all of the artwork is beautiful. Did anybody buy last year's and actually use it? Do you think there are any more available on some sites? I I don't know. I went to last year I bought mine from Mary Beth Shaw. I went to her, and by the time I went to her, she was sold out. I went to DD. I always have trouble with her last name, Catrone, and she had a link with people who were available. And Confident Canvas is who I bought mine from, and I stopped looking after that. So I don't know. I know people were having trouble finding them earlier this week, so I'm gonna say that you're probably out of luck. The only ones I used were the very first 2 pages. And for the life of me, I don't even know what I used them in. So, like I said, the top cover is of last year was not hard. I think that's an improvement. And then let's give you a flip of the current one. They also put something hard at the back besides the chipboard that it's built on. And this paper is thicker. Yeah, these are for those of you who don't have one, trying to find my measuring ruler. 1 second. They are, the pages are a little bit bigger than an ATC. So maybe 3 and 5/8 by 2 and 3/4. So you could easily use these if you're an ATC artist. Yeah, I was on the fence and I was really glad that I was able to find one this year. For those of you who did get one, what do you think you're going to use them for? I do make ATCs. And this will be great for collage fodder, which of course is the point. Some people that look like me are in this one. Can you guys hear me now? Nope, it's probably me. It was me. Is my audio back now? Can you guys hear me now? I switched my mics because can you hear me? Ugh. Can you hear me? It says that it's working now. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. So you guys can hear me. What I said was Sherry asked, do I know who coordinates the project? And I think it is Dee Dee and Tina Walker. That's who I think, but I don't know that for sure. I know they're very entrepreneurial. And the first place I ever saw it was through Dee Dee. And I know she likes to partner up with Tina Walker a lot, but I cannot swear to it because they do it on individual artists' websites. I don't know, it doesn't have its own website, so you can't see who's in charge of it. I don't know why my audio likes to go in and out. I'm still new at this. I really like this one. And I like to go through and look at particular dates, like my birthday, which is in May. And that's what I'm going to get this year. And we'll go back to flipping. And then there was one that at the beginning that struck me as interesting because my husband's nickname is Crow. There's a crow, but there was also, I really like that one. That one. And where was the one? And this one, a crow's soul with a male on it. So I'm gonna have to turn that into something for him for sure. So one of the other changes was this was kind of like a paper binding across to hold them all together. And this year it's cloth, or it looks like it's got a weave to it. See if I can get the camera to focus on that. So I'm thinking it's cloth, which is good because this one got real wiggly and came loose from the paper. But I wasn't, trying to keep it pristine and it's a tool. So I did use the first two pages and so that's I don't know what the plan is yet, but I've been dying to make one of these. Um, it's a roll and then you can use it for collage. So I've cut the paper and stripped it together and it's just on a roll of cardstock right now. And I want to use some of these in this. Oh, you're welcome for the review because if you don't know about a product, you don't know until you get it. And sometimes who wants to spend the money and not know? That's the beautiful thing I think about YouTube. A lot of people will show you what they're making and what they got. Is there any dates that anybody would want to see? like their birthday or something like that. You don't have to tell me it's your birthday. Just if you call out a date, I will flip to it. Nope. Let's see what Christmas looks like in both of them. Well, there's Christmas in 22 and Christmas in 2025. I mean 23. I'm just getting way ahead of myself, aren't I? Yes, and I do agree that Wow, Dee Dee, and Tina Walker are very innovative. They're always coming up with something. And I have, some of her chipboard stuff and some of her stencils. They're kind of thick. Um, but if you know that going into it, then you know. And interestingly enough, I think this is some of her stuff that was sitting right on my desk. Yep. So she has good products like that you can use in your artwork and to do whatever you want to do. So that's pretty much what I said I was going to talk about. And I can't think of anything else that I do want to talk about, but maybe I'll just do another sort of fly through. It won't really be a flip through, but maybe you'll see some pages you didn't see the first go round. Oops, fell out of my hand. This was last year. And if I do it like that, yes, yeah, can always be improved. The first one we were just happy to get it, right? Because it you get all of this artwork that you can use. And I saw on Instagram, I can't remember who it was, but they tried to make a piece of art that was similar and side by side but bigger. Like in their journal, they tried to recreate this in their journals bigger, which would be an interesting way of prompting yourself. So maybe you don't do exactly the same thing. Maybe you might steal the colors. I do plan on making a collage scroll. I've bought some kits from, I'm not going to remember the name of the company, but it was a curated box. And I bought an old box. So, of course, I got it at a discount. And it had all kinds of ephemera in it. July 7th. Let's see. The current year. It's the current year. Let's see what last year's was. I got a roll of washi tape. Oh, that's something to consider next year, right? Did you buy it or did she throw that in free? Because she's got some really Can you tell who made it? You cannot unless you know the artist's work. There's only one artist in here who I can tell right away. This is Megan uh, Quinlan. And you might be able to tell Dee Dee's work because it's almost always tans and blacks and creams. So she almost, I think this is another Megan. Thought I saw it in here. That looks like her stencils. So it could be somebody using her stencils, but all of those stencils, I think this is her. She's about the only artist whose work I know is distinctive enough to me. This could be Dee Dee. She uses, like I said, she uses very little color. I think this is Dee Dee. I can't swear to it, but she uses this type of like collage process. But other than that, I can't begin to tell you. I can't tell what is Sept after. I would say his probably has a lot of layering because that's his thing. But maybe could be. I don't see anything that just screams to me Seth after. Maybe. Maybe Seth. A lot of pieces in there, a lot of layering. The other artists, I'm not as familiar with their work to know. So they did not like stick with a theme for, certain dates because I might have expected this to be love, 14th, but they didn't do that, which is cool. So that you can use this stuff whenever and wherever you want to use it. And there are no that I can see there the pages are not signed. That would have been cool. Or maybe a page in the front that would say, or one page for each artist so that you can tell what their work looks like. But I do think that on the listing that I saw on Dee Dee's page, she gave you a link to every artist. So you could go and see their work if you wanted to. So I think that's about all I wanted to do today, at least live anyway. So thanks everybody for coming. I greatly appreciate it. If you like the content that I provide, if you would subscribe and tell your friends. As always, I leave you in the hands of the Creator. Thanks everybody for coming.